I wanted to hear from you why you would think it would be a good way to recruit the youth using terms like MAGA communism.
Can you repeat that question, please?
Sure. So, in particular, when you're speaking to the youth and you want to recruit them to your cause, at times phrases like MAGA communism comes up. And so I'm asking why you think it's a good idea to use phrases like that to in that context.
Because it may not be the best strategy for immediately winning over all the young people sympathetic to communism or even sympathetic to MAGA. But I do think it does provoke the necessary way discursively of just facing and confronting reality in the way that is necessary. Confronting reality while simultaneously building something new out of it. I think that's the reaction I'm looking for. I want people to confront in a realistic way what our reality is. Stop being so delusional, in the way that liberals are, but simultaneously not just resign themselves to passively acquiesce to the status quo and comprehend the need to, out of that confrontation, build something new.
So taking racism out of the equation, because it's often said, and it might be true, that a lot of people that support MAGA are racist. Also, a lot of people interpret MAGA as trying to strengthen the empire, right? So you consider yourself, of course, in the movement anti-imperialist, right?
Yes.
So that's also a confusion, in particular the youth that are not very acquainted with politics, that they hear MAGA and associated with Trumpism, and you have to strengthen the empire, you have to save the empire.
The interview for the show right now, or no?
Sorry.
Is this the interview for the show right now, or no?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to get an idea because I haven't been able to speak with anybody.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that wasn't finished. I made a good point after that. This is me confronting Haz.
Oh, sorry.
There was a very important part I said after that. If you could play the rest, please.
All right, my bad. Let me put it, because I was going to react to him just like.
I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember it was important. I mentioned the show at the end too.
But we have
let's go back to it.
Okay, I mean, your people can get in touch with my people on Twitter.
Sure.
But that's a pressing issue we bring up on the show. Okay, the phrasing.
Sure, see you later. Bye-bye.
I thought at some point I said, you can still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I thought at some point I mentioned, well, I know in the very beginning you don't see the recording because I started filming it, like they already put me on the mic before I could start filming. But even at some point in the part that I recorded that you showed there, I mentioned unsavory politique. Didn't I say like us socialists and unsavory politique take issue with the phrasing MAGA? That part got in there, right? I'm pretty sure. The point is, some of his followers just since then have reached out to me saying to make a point, and because not everybody that's part of ACP, especially the new members or the new recruits, people that haven't even necessarily joined up with ACP, are convinced yet. There's so many people that we could bring over to real socialism. The thing is, you don't have a lot of anti-imperialists like myself that want to confront them. I want to confront them, not because I want to give them legitimacy, but there are so many people that they're recruiting that we can bring over to our side, and people that could be, disappointed with the likes of Haz and then join somebody like Andrew Tate, in the alt-right. We don't want that. We want that vacuum of youth to join true socialism. That's why I confronted Haz for the first time, and behind the scenes I've been pressuring people like Haz, leaders in ACP, to come on the show and debate me, because when you have the facts, it says it all. I'll give you an example. I looked up a Gallup poll. The last Gallup poll that I know of that shows how socially conservative Americans are. You'd be surprised how few Americans are socially conservative. Haz always said, he said last night, 99% of Americans are socially conservative, which basically means transphobic. And if you actually look at the Gallup polls, the last one showed, and this was on the high end because usually it shows lower, only 38% of Americans consider themselves socially conservative. Yet Haz and all his supporters, without looking up the facts, of course, without any fact checker, are saying, oh, a majority, 99% are socially conservative. That's BS. It's like saying, that Trump had a mandate when 15 million people didn't vote for the Democrats. They usually do because they were fed up with the genocide. No, it's not that there's more conservative Americans voting or that there's more socially conservative Americans. There's a lot of screwed up Americans. I'm just saying the whole basis of ACP, they want to make Americans more right wing. You know what I mean? And they reject being called leftists, and they attack leftists more than the right. They want to accommodate to Trumpism. I thought this was a diplomatic way to confront Haz so that maybe he can come on, or somebody from ACP can come on, because if we really have a debate with them, we can show the facts and convince people, because the type of people that call in are very timid. They're really not taking on the issues. They're really not asking the right questions. So I thought it was about time to step up and get in there and ask him what I needed to ask him.
Well,
of course, he might continue the debate, but maybe he will come on and we can have a lengthy debate, like he said he claims he wants to do.
Well, no. My thing is that, like, well, first of all, let's welcome Karleigh back to the show. We have a really good show for everybody here on Savory Politique. Our co-host reached out to the ACP, to basically question them on their stance on MAGA communism. Got you. So that's what we were basically breaking down for people to understand, because the sad part is that a lot of infighting 24/7 on the left, and there's a lot of people that are upset. It was what happened with the election, and a lot of people are signing up. The PSL, for one, I'm a huge supporter of the PSL and also a former member. Has been huge and greatly taking advantage on making sure that the right message is out with building and organizing the people. And unfortunately, there is a lot of this MAGA communism here on the surge here, and it's just it's really just ridiculous, Karleigh. That's why it was a response from yesterday, and we had to talk about it real quick, because I think it's really sad, because what he said, that a lot of people are reaching out, and I have gotten friend requests as well too after I called them out today, because I was just wondering on comrades that we all actually know as well, Karleigh, that are a part of them now, have joined them, and then some have gotten kicked out and ostracized because of little disagreements and stuff. And I got people sending me friend requests now saying that, oh, we want to talk to you about what you said about the ACP. The ACP. It's so freaking weird. It's so weird. But how are you doing today, Karleigh? I want to thank you so much for taking the time about to come back.
I'm doing okay, and I'm doing okay. I'm doing just fine. I mean, it's been, just got off of work, doing a lot of advocacy work. It's part of my job.
Yeah.
And I can't begin to understand exactly what the hell MAGA communism is.
Yes. But that's the really honest question.
Lenin and Trump. How does that work?
It does not work.
Marx and Trump. Does that make America great again? You see, that is a complete contradiction. And I know as a Marxist, I know contradictions are kind of our business, but not like that. Because the fact of the matter is, being a Marxist and Leninist American, the first thing I understand is that America's never been great.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
This nation in 248 years has never been great. We're still trying to make America great. I mean, if it's never been great, it can't be great again. Now, can it?
Right.
At one level, and at another level, what does MAGA stand for? Let's just be real about what MAGA is about. MAGA is about taking away the rights of the worker, taking away the power of the worker, dividing the working class against its interest, dividing working people against their interest. It's all about, see, if you're for MAGA, you work for the boss. So there's no way there can be a such thing as MAGA communism, because as communist, as socialist, as Marxist, as Leninist, We believe in the worker. We believe in power for the worker. All power to the people. All power to the Soviet. All power to workers' committees. All power to the neighborhood block committees. All power in the hands of the people, not the bosses. So MAGA, there's no way in hell we can talk about MAGA communism because those two concepts don't go.
Yeah.
They're not compatible at all. So why are we discussing MAGA communism? That, I mean, it doesn't work. If you believe in MAGA communism, you got some issue. You got a lot of issues to work out. Those two things are completely incompatible.
It really is.
It's like giving Bibi Netanyahu a peace prize.
Right.
They're completely incompatible.
Yeah. I mean, well, the Nobel Peace Prize, they probably would give Netanyahu a Nobel Peace Prize.
On what grounds? on what grounds?
Yeah,
well,
I just gotta say, you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just gotta say, when I was coming back to my computer, I couldn't help from laughing when Comrade Karleigh had to explain, why MAGA is not communism. Like, just the whole phrasing, like, even had to be all serious asking the question. Like, I had to hold back the laughter. So absurd. But it's also tragic. It's not just comic because you have youth that actually believe this stuff. 19, 20-year-olds that have no knowledge of history, that think that Adolf Hitler was left-wing, that think that communism right-wing. It's like everything's backward now. And all this revisionist history, it's getting out of control. And it's culminating in the persona of people like Haz.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the reason is, Alex,